Have you ever been playing the finals and wanted to use a weapon that was approved by John Wick himself? Well, I know I have. Hi, I'm Funny Man, and today I taught myself how to use the V9S so you don't have to. This is a series where we grind out 100 kills with a weapon in the finals, see what kind of tips and tricks we can pick up along the way, and see if maybe, just maybe now, we've been sleeping on one of the best weapons in the game. We're back with a vengeance, ladies and gentlemen, and we got the V9S for you today. Let's get right into the video. So the V9S has inhabited kind of a weird spot on the light class since the game released. When the game started off, this gun was absolutely diabolical. It was by far the best thing you could have, and then it got nerfed into the ground. They capped its fire rate, they reduced its ranges, they did a whole bunch of shit to it. And then it kind of just sat in this realm where it wasn't bad, but you had better options. So more often than not, you saw people picking those better options. With the start of Season 9, they buffed the shit out of it. They let us have fun with it for all of 5 days before they decided, yep, fun time's over, and then nerfed it. And I would say that the V9S is arguably in a worse state than it was before Season 9. The damage range buff that they gave it at the start of the season made a lot of people realize how good it was, so they started using it more. And then they used it so much that Embark decided to nerf the damage and then nerfed the damage range. So in response to this, I would like to point out, if anybody from Embark is watching this, I doubt it, but if you are, I would like to point out that there is an option available for the next time you buff a gun and then it turns out to be just a little too strong. The control key on the keyboard right here and the Z key, yeah, just undo the thing. Like, I promise you, there is no problem with saying, whoops, we overtuned this, we're gonna tune it back while we think of another solution, rather than just going, okay, well, this thing's had fun now, back in the shit bin you go. But in all seriousness, the V9S is a pretty solid weapon all around. It only takes 3 headshots to kill a light from about 12 to 15 meters away. But when you get out to 17 meters, that 3-shot headshot kill goes up to 4 on a light, so it loses its damage pretty quickly. On a medium character within the maximum damage range, you're looking at about a 5-shot headshot kill, and on a heavy, you are looking at about a 7-shot headshot. Now, one thing to note about the V9S is that the V9S does have some pretty good hip fire, so if you are in a situation where you are close quarters with some people, it may not be your worst idea to just crouch down, start dashing around everywhere, and start hitting your shots in the hip fire like that. I have had plenty of scenarios where I get stuck in a room full of people, tight corners and whatnot, and I've been able to get some kills by just locking in and spraying the hip fire. You can't say that with a ton of guns on the light class, but the V9S is definitely one of them. They have really good hip fire. Now, aside from just going for headshots, another way that I use the V9S a lot is by getting up real close to someone and just cutting off space. Kind of like how I just said with the hip fire, you can very easily end up getting around people and breaking their ankles with the dash while you hit the hip fire shots on the V9S, and then if you get a little further out, you can just swap over to ADS fire, and you'll have some pretty good accuracy, as well as some pretty killer damage output. Now, in terms of horizontal recoil, there is none. It kicks straight up. So when you're strafing around in a gunfight, you're gonna have to be sure to pull your mouse down or pull your thumbstick down, whatever you're doing. But you don't need to put a whole lot of effort into trying to aim smooth with the V9S because there's no horizontal recoil for you to smooth out anyway. It's not something like the M60 or the M11 where you really want to be taking advantage of aim smoothing. You don't have to worry about doing that with the V9S. Now, before we get into showing off the loadout, one thing I do want to point out about the V9S is that I would highly recommend you run a sight on this gun. The iron sights are pretty obstructive and you can't see a whole lot when you're aiming down the irons. I know some people are just going to go, Funny, get good at aiming. The iron sights are fine. Now, look, if you want to squint while you aim down the sights of this thing, that's perfectly fine. I want my eyesight to be good and clear in 20 years so that I can see the wonderful things I'm doing with your mother. But all in all, it does kind of come down to personal preference. I like being able to have a good, clear picture of my target, and I feel like I can do that with the regular reflex sight that you can put on the gun. Some people prefer the irons. It's up to personal preference, really, but in the end, I'd recommend you put a sight on this thing. And of course, who better to kick off the returning episode of I Taught Myself than the man, the Wick, the legend himself. But before we get into the episode, be sure to let me know down in the comments what your ranking of the John Wick movies is. For me personally, I'm a 2, 1, 4, 3 kind of guy. I know a lot of people feel the same way, but there are some people that go 1, 2, 4, 3. Notice how we always say the third movie's the worst. Loadout we're going to be starting off with today is the V9S Evasive Dash with the Frag Grenade, the Nullifier, and the Vanishing Bomb. And for those of you that watch the 10 worst gadgets of Season 8 and are going, why are you using the Vanish Bomb? You do remember me saying that the first 3 gadgets on the list were still usable, right? The top of the list are going to feature some gadgets that you might very well be using, and that's okay if you're using them. Another important change that we are going to be making to the episode today is that we are going to be playing Point Break instead of Quick Cash. Why are we playing Point Break instead of Quick Cash, you might ask? Because I will get many more kills in Point Break than I will in Quick Cash, and Quick Cash is a cesspool of rubies trying to get their smurfs ready to go ruin everybody else's ranked experience. Prove me wrong. And without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let us hop right into our first game of the day. I know I'm normally commenting on our team composition at the start of these games, but all I can focus on is fucking Caillou grown up with the bridal thing in the back. It's a veil. It's called a bridal veil. Why couldn't I think of the fucking word? All right, shot him in the booty. Bro, didn't you learn from your other friend? Don't climb up that ladder. I will have a bullet for your bunghole. Ah, I knew your winch claw was coming there, buddy. Okay, all right, well, I got cocky. Wait, his name was Saul Bad Guy? That's fucking whack, yo. Damn, he saw me while I was invisible? What kind of Ghostbusters ass shit is that? Oh, yeah, well, he was open bait. If I didn't take the bait, I would have been disappointed in myself. Pro tip, everybody, just because you're playing light doesn't mean you can't help the team out. Oh, hey, I killed another YT guy. Haha. Oh, Jesus. Oh, no. There's too many of them.
Is this just one of those times where we're absolutely boned?
Jiggly Wiggly Biggly? Oh, it's definitely a silly name. All right, oh, captains, my captains. The building is coming down, and I am trying to help us not lose on the first sector. Good night, Picklewood. Tip number 2 with the V9S. Take a second to acquire your target before you start unloading. I find the V9S to be particularly hard to acquire a target with mid-shot, and if I start spraying away before I fully lock onto someone, I tend to miss every shot. Don't be like me. Take a second to actually lock onto what you're shooting at before you make a fool out of yourself. Ah, he turned his back when he shouldn't have. Oh no, that's a hurdy turret. Oh my god, why was the window too small for me? I am a tiny boy. You know, in the game, not in real life. I'm double wide IRL. Cut that, cut that. Oh my god, never mind, that doorway is closed. But what the shit? Man got saved by falling debris. Oh yes, and we return to the wonderful argument of why the fuck are you defibbing a light? I have only the tiniest bit less hatred for you doing it during this game mode. Ah, damn it, I heard him fucking coming up. Why the hell could I not dash in time? Callisto, my guy, I revived you. Why are you continuously doing this to me? Stop it with the defibs, like... Oh, ah, fax machine. Dude, fuck you. And we're the winners. Hell yeah, dude. Good start to the day. Good start to the day. 17 and 8. What a banger way to start the day off, folks. F yeah. Oh no, we got Big Buck Bunny Boy. Oh, and Saul Bad Guy's back. That's crazy. I don't like that they all have the same clan tag. Tip number 3 with the V9S. Don't challenge weapons at the appropriate ranges. You can easily challenge certain weapons at long range, such as the KS, the P90, or the M11, but going up against a FAMAS at medium range is more often than not a death sentence. The same thing applies for shotguns, SMGs, and automatic assault rifles at close range. The V9S will not outperform many weapons at their intended ranges. Wow, okay, alright, the Zuggernaut got some aim. Wow, we killed each other. That's crazy. Okay, the Lewis gun has hands. What? He wasn't even touching me! Like, if anything, the front of his hammer poked me in the belly. Back in my day, you actually had to hit the hammer on the head with the nail, or whatever the fuck you say. Works every time. Nobody ever remembers to check for frags. Wow, okay. That was just me being bad there, but I don't like it. No, let me out of here. Dude, oh my fucking god, it's like they got X-ray vision. Wow, guy came up right behind me, had no shot. All right, 7 and 8 for the second game of the day, which was a loss, but I'm gonna be honest, we had a TTV on our team, so, you know, that bodes wonderfully for us. Uh-oh, we got someone with the Buster Sword on our team, so we got this in the bag. Good night. Tip number 4 with the V9S, don't attack from one single position. The V9S is a weapon that requires you to remain agile and take fights from off angles. If you take an objective, never stay directly on it. Move away from the point and be ready to move back in and take a fight from an off angle and reposition again afterwards. Hit and run is the name of the game with this weapon. And boom goes your face. Aw, thank you so much. Aw, you got shitted on. What were you doing, buddy? Apparently the thing that I was doing just now.
Getting shot.
Wow, that's crazy. He busted in the door and tried to shoot me, and I was just like, sir, leave me alone. I got shit to do. Okay, and then he decided to use my head as a fucking golf ball. That's lit. Clearly, I misread the situation. Okay, all right. 93R was nerfed. Totally. Dude, I get what you were going for with the tracking dart, but you still lost track of me. No, I want to live, and it doesn't matter what I want, I'm going to die. All right, let's go. 15 and 7, that's nice. All right, so given the nature of the V9S and that it is a wonderful weapon that we are using quite effectively in Point Break, we're gonna go ahead and switch things up. We're still gonna change up our loadouts here, but we are going to be using the Finals Loadout Randomizer to go ahead and give us our next loadout. The only things that we cannot get in this loadout are obviously anything that's not the V9S. We won't be getting Evasive Dash. I want to kind of force myself to get off of that a little bit. And we're also not going to get the Vanishing Bomb just because I feel like, look, if we ended up getting Cloak and Vanishing Bomb, that would kind of just be a hat on a hat. So, hey, it's my show. And a spin we go! All right, V9S, Cloak, Goo, Sonar, Gas. What fresh hell have I just unleashed on myself? Look, if there's an alternate universe somewhere where John Wick would use something like this, it must be the universe where he works for the fucking Muffin Man, because what the shit is this loadout, dude? But I am a man of my word, so let's see how bad it is. Well, goddamn, uninstall Copilot, everybody, because we got a Microsoft spy in the lobby. As if Copilot wasn't bad enough. Oh shit, I don't have dashes anymore. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Oh, there we don't go. Fuck. Jesus shit. Oh my god, how the fuck did I survive that? Tip number 5 with the V9S, just because you look and feel like John Wick does not mean you actually are John Wick. Your plot armor is about as strong as grandma's parchment paper. Wow, okay, that was a bad jumble to jump in. Die, Stinky! Ah! And winners! Alright, 11 and 4. Honestly, that is way better than I was expecting to do with this loadout. We might be able to make this work. And that, I have no excuse for that. I should not have been a little to the left. Got him. Wow. I don't have any response to that, but they just steamrolled that first sector. I don't have a good feeling about this. Yeah, take that, fatback. Yeah. The repeater really fucking hurts if you're a light. The following death is brought to you in part by tip number 6. Don't forget to hip fire. Dashing lights and sword users are hard to hit. Don't make it harder. No! I lost that because I can't aim for shit. That's right. You. I just need to stop trying to fight that guy. Okay, you are so lucky that that defib did not result in me dying again, because I would crash the f out, yo. Yeah, I didn't think there was any way I fucking won that 2v1, but almost did. Wow. Okay, so the XP54 versus the V9S is not a close fight. Okay, and once again, when I'm too close, I need to stop fucking ADSing. But for some reason, I just can't. Just like for some fucking reason, you dumbasses can't get it through your thick ass skulls to stop defibbing lights. Well, would you look at that? 15 and 11. They were a tough team, so shit, we'll take it. We will absolutely take it. Oh my god, you've got to be fucking kidding me. Zombie Nutsack, Captain Clit Tickler, Thicky Mouse, and two of them have the clan tag Fupa. Wow, okay, both of them saw me and just said, ah, kill that loser. Wow, that sucked. Ooh. Oh, ouch. Of course, Captain Clit Tickler doesn't know how to use the fucking defib. I bet he doesn't know how to do the thing in his name either.
Oh my god, Captain Cloak Tickler, you f***ing idiot!
Yeah, f*** you, Deuce. Okay, I don't know what I was thinking there. In fact, I don't think I was thinking at all.
Zombie Nutsack. Is every medium on my team a fuck?
I say as I run directly into someone else's gun. Well, hey, there we go. We win with a shower of coins that may or may not have come out of my body. 14 and 11. They made us work for it. All right, that was far from the worst loadout we could have gotten. I mean, I didn't love it, but we made some use out of it. So just goes to show you that it's all in your head. There's no such thing as a meta. Just use whatever the fuck you want, even if several of those gadgets ended up on your worst of list last season. Oops. And it's time for us to go ahead and get a new loadout with a spin. Cloak, Gateway, Flashbang, Glitch. I see the vision, but I'm still not happy we're still using Cloak. I swear to God, if this ends up working, I don't know what I'll do, but it won't be happy. Yeah, that's right. You didn't expect me to come from the back. I don't know how the hell I won that when I was shooting him in the cankles, but hey, it worked. Yep, I'm dying. Aw, he was one shot too. Wow, oh, we got a Spearmeister over here. I guess he just got off of watching the spear video because that was some prime technique. Oh, wow, that I had no shot. And I'm about to die again because why the f not? Can I take like 3 deaths off for bad teamwork? Because I am just getting rezzed into the worst position possible. Okay, and once again, the ghost of the repeater comes back to tell me that I need to go f myself. Dude, what were you doing there, IBAN wall hackers? Okay, that was bad, bad, bad. Ah, he backed his head up into the gun. How does that work out? So I had an idea there, but it didn't work. It was really bad. Ah, shit. Yep. Nope. 2 heavies, one with a spear spin and the other with a flamethrower. There's nothing you can fucking do against that. Wow, why did I think that was a good idea? Get off my friend's flamethrower. Dude, like, from this distance, why are you even trying with a minigun? Wow, okay, I jumped in a room full of a whole bunch of yucky f that I didn't even know about. Okay, yo, I'm the literal goddamn spear avatar, and I just did the dumbest fucking thing ever that you could do to a spear user. Just run straight at them. Like, I need to go to bed. Yo, whoa, 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 come on, dude, what the f? How the hell did I lose that? How the f did I lose that? Okay. God damn it. Okay. Dude, there is no fucking shot that I slipped out of that unseen. Yeah, now we're cooked. We're honestly cooked. 25 and 17, you know, we definitely died a lot that round, but hey, What you gonna do? Why the fuck is IBAN wall hackers trying to friend request me? We were on the enemy team. Hell no. Well, another day, another ditty, and I gotta say, we did some diddling with this thing. Now, it only took us 7 games today to get to 100 eliminations with the V9S. Throughout those 7 games, we won 5, we lost 2, leaving us with a win-loss ratio of 2.5. I don't know about you guys, but that's just... oh, yummy. Keep in mind that I am aware that because this isn't quick cash and we're... why is this man trying to fucking friend me? Because we're not playing quick cash anymore and we are playing point break, the win-loss ratios are going to be a bit different because we're playing a different mode. You know, it's a lot larger, but, you know, hey, we never really gauge these episodes by win-loss anyway. It's just kind of a fun thing to put. Throughout those 7 games, we got 104 eliminations to 66 deaths, leaving us with a KD ratio of 1.57. Shit, I think the Baba Yaga himself would be quite proud indeed. But alright, so what's the verdict? How are we feeling about the V9S? Is this one of the best weapons in the game that we've been absolutely sleeping on? The V9S is really fucking solid, but it's not one of the best. Even before the buffs and the nerfs that came with the 9.0 update and beyond, I wouldn't have said that the V9S was one of the best guns in the game regardless. I've always really enjoyed using the V9S at close-up range or to just put out some long-range poke damage to ensure that I as a light can stay safe and away from the danger while my teammates go in and do all the work for me. With that being said, after the 9.0 update and all the nerfs that have come since, I genuinely believe that the V9S is in a worse state than it was last season. The nerf from 40 damage to 38 damage per shot doesn't sound like a lot, but when you consider the kind of ranges that you end up playing at with the V9S, it becomes more apparent that this gun has been weakened by a considerable amount. And especially now that they've kind of reverted that initial buff of the V9S being good at longer ranges before it starts falling off, the V9S now feels even more like a peashooter when you start to stretch the ranges out. Outside of that, I do think the V9S can remain a really solid close-up option, and I still think the gun can do some decent poking damage when you start to stretch the ranges out a little bit. You know, even if you're not getting the kill, you're still laying down damage and that helps the team out. But when you start to stretch the ranges out, the LH1 is much better in this category. And the LH1, honestly, I think even beats the V9S in the up close damage category, seeing as how you can 2-shot a light if you're hitting both headies. But that is only damage potential. When you're up close, the hipfire on the V9S is much better than the LH1's is. And even though, yeah, you'll probably end up missing a lot more shots just because you're kind of spamming them out, the close range damage potential is a lot greater if you end up needing to just dash around some people and hope for the best for a minute. All in all, super solid gun, really love it. Wish they would just revert it back to how it was at the end of Season 8, but I digress. But anywho, that is going to wrap it up for today's episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Big shout out to our Comedy Club member, Montreal8333, and to our Comedy Club VIPs. It's your boy Jesse011, Mr. Breadbank himself, your Grand's Big Toe, the one and only bouncer of the Comedy Club. If you'd like to go ahead and join that, link is in the description down below to join the Discord. You must be 18 years or older to join. And Fatal Sky 09 Boom 32 for still never changing that Xbox gamertag. And if you'd like to join these fine gentlemen and becoming members of the Comedy Club, be sure to go ahead and click down below. Membership starts at $1.99. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already for more finals content. Say what's up down in those comments, and I will see you all in the next episode. Bye.